All right, we'll go ahead and get started.
Yes.
I'd like to call this tax hearing to order.
There's no public comment.
There's not public comment.
No sign up for public comment.
That's always a good sign.
I'm looking for my paper, so I don't have one.
Oh, here.
Where's that?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm not prepared. All right, so, if there's no public comment, we'll go ahead and call our special meeting to order. And at this time,
Stephanie, you need to adjourn the hearing and then call the other meeting.
where's my paper?
Did you call the hearing to order?
Okay.
Yeah, we did. She called the hearing to order.
Oh, right here. Sorry.
Same thing.
All right, well, we'll just adjourn this meeting then. I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Ms. Wells, second by Mr. Bowers.
Next one.
All in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none, and we're adjourned from that. All right. Now, I'll call this meeting to order for our special called meeting. And this is our first item on the agenda, which is to approve the 4% revenue increase tax rate for fiscal year '24. Great.
Thank you, Chairman Rager, board members. This is for a 4% revenue increase. The general fund tax levied in fiscal year 2023 was 53.8 cents on real property and 53.8 cents on personal property reduced revenue. The proposed general fund tax rate for fiscal year '24 is 53.4 cents on real property and 53.8 cents on personal property, expected to produce $9,384,402.81. It's important to note that this is a tax decrease. The assessments went up this year, and along with property values and new construction, so the 4% revenue increase is still resulting in a tax decrease of 53.4 cents.
Are there any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve the 4% revenue increase tax rate.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bowers.
Second.
Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of approving the 4% revenue tax rate for the fiscal year '24, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And at this time, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Johar.
Second.
Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. It's 5:30. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening to our regular monthly board meeting for August. And if everyone at this time would please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Board members, we're down to approving the agenda. Do have a couple of items to add to the agenda. The first item needs to go under item D on our board action items, and this is to approve purchase of a 2022 Sprinter van for Muhlenberg County High School. I make a motion.
Second.
Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of adding item D to our agenda, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And we'll have, there's another one we need to add under consent items, item E. And this is for approval of fundraisers. And I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of adding consent item E under our board consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And then we'll move down now. If there are no other additions to the agenda, I need a motion to approve the amended agenda. Have a motion by Mr. Johar, second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of approving the amended agenda, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. We'll move down now to our favorite part, which is recognitions. Ms. Embry?
Good evening, board members and all of you guests into our newly painted boardroom. Let me get my notes. We have some students as well as a special employee to recognize this evening, and then I'm going to turn it over to Miss Vicki Yance, who has some recognitions, and also Miss Alyssa Manning. So with us this evening are some students who recently competed and placed in the Kentucky 4-H State Communications Day, along with about 175 other students across the state. That was done in Nicholasville in July. As you know, the district partners with the UK Extension Office to offer 4-H clubs for 4th through 6th grade. And as a part of the program, each student creates a 3 to 5 minute demonstration that they do in the spring in front of their classmates. Those demonstrations landed some awards at the state level this summer. So students, when I call your name, I'm going to give a little description of what your demonstration was, and then I'm going to ask that you come up and I'm going to get your picture made with Miss Orr, okay? So I'm going to start with Chrislyn. Chrislyn Gregory from Bremen Elementary received a blue ribbon for excellence in the Science, Engineering, and Technology Junior Division with her It's Time for Slime demonstration. So we want to congratulate Chrislyn. So come on up, Chrislyn. Grab my camera, just one second. Turn it facing. Great, congratulations. And I'll put these on Facebook too. Absolutely. Next, we're going to go with Abby Haley from Longest Elementary. She received second place in the Clothing and Textiles Junior Division with her How to Make a Polymer Clay Bracelet. Did I say it right? Mom, she's a pro. Then next we will recognize Madeline Fields with Muhlenberg North Middle, who's also displayed in this picture when she was younger. She received second place in the Family and Consumer Science Junior Division with her Madeline's Soap Creations. So come on down, Madeline. And last but certainly not least on my list is Audrey Jenkins with Muhlenberg South Middle School. She received first place in the Foods Junior Division with her breathtaking banana pudding that she did not bring tonight. Come on down. Wait.
We have to get the pictures before we become high schoolers and don't let us have them.
That is the truth. Yeah. All right, then I So we have a special employee of the district, Miss Edie Ryan. She's been here before recently. She's one of our certified American Sign Language ASL interpreters. At the July Kentucky Educators for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Conference, Miss Edie presented the Virginia Moore Access Award. This award, which she brought, great. That's what she received. This award is given to individuals who go above and beyond to provide access to communication and advocacy for the deaf and hard of hearing community and students in the state of Kentucky. These individuals provide services that foster a relationship and build communication for both students and families. Their advocacy and communication provide greater opportunities for their students and families. As you recall, Miss Virginia Moore was the ASL interpreter for Governor Beshear during the long span of COVID briefings. She recently passed due to an illness. So Miss Edie has served as a board member of the Kentucky Commission for Deaf and Hard of Hearing and was recently appointed by Governor Beshear to serve on the Kentucky Board of Interpreters. Did I do all of that right? Great. Congratulations, Miss Edie Ryan. Please come down. She said, how do we know these things?
How they found out. Congratulations.
This is special.
Yes.
That's all on mine.
Great
I'm
job.
going to give it to Vicki.
All right.
We're done. Oh, you've got pictures? Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like it was a year ago when we were here doing this, but it was. Time flies when you're having fun. So thank you for allowing SOAR to be here tonight to present our top readers for Books and Cream. Of course, Books and Cream is our summer reading event that we do every year, and we were trying to figure out how many years, 10, 11, 12, we're not really sure. It's been a lot of years, but anyway, kids do great. And tonight we want to recognize some folks that did a wonderful job. We're going to start with our third place winners, and that is Gemma Groves, Jedediah Groves, and JC Groves. So you all come up, they read 290 books this summer. Your gift card, you can hold that, you can. And then we have three of these really pretty necklaces you get to wear. Can I put one on you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hey, we have one for the baby, JC. She's baby Gemma. Okay, I think I get confused. Okay. There, Gemma. What do you think about that? All right.
Can we all get a picture?
Yeah. Can you turn around? Can you just send
Look,
it?
she knows what to do.
Smile like her. Like that.
Yeah.
Perfect. You guys are thank you, guys. Y'all keep Our second place could not be here tonight. That's Layla Christmas and Adlin Allen. And one read 316 and one read 317. I think one of them just read one more just in case. They wanted to win, right? And our top reader, and she is really no stranger to the Board of Education because Graceland was here last year, but Miss Gracie Dunn read 343 books again this year. So come on up, Gracie. And here's a little gift card. You can get some, because it's Books and Cream. You come by the office and I'll give you a book that don't get cream. Congratulations. Oh, hey, you actually get this one. I'm sorry. I'm a little behind. It's been a long day, y'all. So, okay. Thank you, guys. We had a wonderful time. Between all the kids, we had 1,197 visits in the 9 days. We were open from 10 to 1, and 9 days we had 1,197 kids come in. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
What do you got from me? Let me get up. check, I'll take the check.
Hi, everybody. Well, I have a big check, but I still always hate following Vicki because she always has those beautiful kids, and it's so much fun to do. Thank you for giving me just a minute of the agenda. I had spoken with Ms. Orr and Mr. Bletzinger several weeks ago because we do have a grant that many of you heard of. It was from last quarter. But as I started to think about it, I was like, I sort of want to do a big check presentation because it is a big grant, but also I just wanted to take a minute. I don't get to do it often for you all to talk about the great partnership with Martin Foundation and Muhlenberg County Schools, and to just tell you that we appreciate it as much as you do. For us, education has always been a focus area, a key focus area since day one, and the schools have always been a really great partner in that. When we talk about it, we usually say workforce development in education, but for us, that's every age, just like for you guys, from its SOAR's early childhood program, which is our workforce of tomorrow, to post-secondary success to middle schoolers. So we have so many programs with you all, and we appreciate what you all do to keep them in the schools and to partner with us, because we obviously could not do it without you. So I want to start by saying that. And when I thought about presenting this check, I thought, well, you know what? I don't often get to say what we do for the schools. And so I looked at last year's grant making. The first thing I want to do is actually do this check-in. After I finish talking, I would love it if you all would take a picture with me. But the first one is to talk about our last board meeting. Ms. Orr and Mr. Bletzinger came to us and talked about how we had been partners when COVID hit and we all had to go to Chromebooks for all the kids. We were early partners to come in and do a couple $100,000 to get that started, to really kick it off so we could get those into students' hands.
Thank you.
And of course, well, and that happened, of course, nobody wanted it to happen. We didn't want to have to do it for the reason we did. But it turned out to be a really good thing, I think, for kids, and brought us up to a new level of modern technology and learning. And in talking with the two of you and some others, there have been really good things about those Chromebooks, but they really wanted to keep it collaborative. We want to be a 21st century learning school system, and we want to be able to use that technology in a way that's collaborative. And so one of Ms. Orr's big goals in talking to me was to put these interactive learning monitors in nearly every classroom across the school system, but they are expensive. And again, they came and said, how about if the foundation helped us get it started so that we could maybe do a little more? And they said, we've got about $120,000 to put into it, and if you guys would do that as well, that would really help us to move quicker. When I brought that to our board, and I thought, I don't know, we don't usually do this, but I'll bring it, they actually were overwhelmingly supportive, and in fact said, if they're going to do 120, let's double theirs. We'll do 240 if that can help them get them in the schools quicker. So we did approve a $240,000 grant this year so that can happen quicker. We know the schools will keep it up, but having said that, this way kids can get it quicker. And it seems like from everything I've seen, right here, it just looks like a PowerPoint presentation, but I saw some of it this summer at kindergarten camp with teachers using it with even as young as kindergartners, where they're up pointing at things and touching, and it's all very interactive and exciting. So that will be the big chick presentation. Is $240,000 for those interactive learning monitors. But I did want to, just while I'm here, I wanted to just talk about last year, because in fact we are doing a lot with the schools and you are doing a lot with us. And when I looked at what we actually did in grants last year, we approved just shy of $1.1 million in new grant funding specifically to be paid to Muhlenberg County Schools last year. So in case you don't realize what a big partner you are for us, you're a big partner. And that does not include about $225,000, which is for SOAR programming, which we don't pay to the schools, but clearly goes directly into student support, and about $150,000 more, which goes to Muhlenberg Achieve. So it puts us at almost $1.5 million in partnership programs with you all. And that includes things from last year, we re-upped our commitment for 3 years to help provide staffing at Martin Hall, so that can be available for all the students and for community. We also continued our commitment to SOAR to make sure we have that staffing in place for at least 3 more years. We did, I think it was $22,000 in Spruce Up the Bird grants, so different things which are going to improve the spaces at the schools. There were leadership programs, there were dual credit programs. I have to look. We did Frisky support, so just a lot of different things. And I just wanted to have a moment to say all that to you, and thank you for the time. And that's all. And if you guys would bear with me, can I come behind and we can do a picture? Thanks for
Chad, we want you in the picture too. He said no, but yes.
I didn't look at you when I was talking, but I'll mention you.
My name is Vito.
I don't love you that much.
I guess we're at a
I
school.
don't love you that much. I don't
Right here.
love you that much.
You guys have to hold it.
You're not coming up your face either. The best shot. Down a little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
Maybe?
So I'm gonna have to remove name tags because I can't see the check. Sorry.
Sorry, should know everything. Thank you for doing this, you guys.
Okay, right here on 1, 2, 3. Do another one. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What a pleasure what they can do.
Thank you, Martin Foundation, you all are amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alyssa.
What I say, we need you guys as much as you need us.
Yes.
And rubber spent.
Front seat for the good boys. Yeah, I see it back in. No, Alex, the front seat, huh? Now, come on.
Well, Alex is kind of.
All right. We'll move down now to our treasurer's report, Mr. Blitzinger.
And regular board members, tonight I'm bringing you the financials as of July 31st. Start with the revenues. The beginning balance was $35.57 million. This is down by $1.92 million. Monthly receipts were $3.822, and they're up $12,000 from last month and $460,000 from the same period last year. SEEK is down. One I want to hit on is the SEEK is down $66,000. This trends with a $787,000 drop, which is a little bit less than what we originally predicted because of some of the tornado relief that the state has provided. I want to thank Alex for actually helping me out and getting connected to the right people so we can get some of that back. So, for a total cash receipts of $39.39 million. Expenditures. Last month, accounts payable was $898,545. That is down $244,000 when compared to the same period last year. Payroll was $893,391, and that is up $8,500 versus July 22. The significant bills in July were Timberland Passage, it was for Gilbert South Middle School's gym flooring for $159,125. Lawton Insurance at $101,000. Stalker Sports Floors, which was the materials for the gym flooring at South Middle, was $87,000. Accounts payable breakdown, fixed and mixed expenses of $605,000, variable expenses of $196,000, and utility expenses of $98,000. Which the utilities are still, they're holding still pretty well, given rate increases. So further breakdown of the accounts payable, general fund accounted for $734,000. Fund 2, school activity funds about $22,000, construction $72,000, debt service about $57,000, and food service and daycare about $14,000. The ledger balance at the end of the month was $37.6 million. Bank balance was $26.95. Outstanding checks about $405,000 for cash balance of $26.55 million. Breakdown of that, general fund is down about $513,000. Special revenue in Fund 2 is actually up almost $1 million. Debt service is up now that the liability has been replenished for a total of $39.5 37.6, or it's about 2.5 million. The extended financial picture through December 2023, expect to have about 33.3 million. Any questions?
Any questions regarding the treasurer's report? If not, I'll need a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Johar. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And payment of bills and salaries.
This month I bring $900,856.03. Of that, general fund is about $173,000. A large portion of that is $689,875. That's for debt service. Utilities were about $62,000, and the mixed and fixed expenses were about $759,000. The variable was $80,000. And again, the large bill of this month was the Old National Wealth Management, which is debt service, which I'd like to say that is actually the last payment on that bond. So that one is done.
Any questions? I need a motion to approve payment of bills and salaries.
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Ms. Wells. Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of paying bills and salaries, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. We're down now to public participation? No? Okay. None on there. All right, so we'll move down now to our administrative report. Our personnel actions have been given us and the report will be placed in the minutes. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Orr for our superintendent report.
Yeah, I'll speak quickly and then turn it over to Mr. Browning for Greenville. They're presenting tonight. I just wanted to share with you all, kind of bringing you up to speed, the continued work that we're doing around our profile of a learner. I know you see in the back corner there is our banner that with our profile. Vanna's back there. And so these are around our district and our schools, and actually we just got the posters, so every classroom now has one of these posters. They're working on getting those up in the classrooms. But then of course the goal is not that they're a poster, but that they are referred to during the lessons and that the students understand the reasoning behind these competencies, as well as our teachers and staff and parents. So with that being said, we realize that this is going to take learning and growing in these areas. So we created, or the part of the committee created, a calendar of events of different things of how we're going to focus on a different competency each month. And so this month is kind of a beginning of the year. Next month will be a here's all of them. Here's kind of a general overview, and then we go into specific competencies for each month. With that focus, it's going to be through email, through videos, through discussion, just kind of really highlighting what each of these competencies mean, what they look like in the classroom, as well as out in the community. So we're hoping over the course of this year, everybody gets a really good sense of this work and what it means, to have this in place, and the importance of it and the value behind it. So I was just going to share that with you so you kind of saw where where this is going over the course of this year. Okay, so now I will turn it over to Mr. Browning for Greenville. This is, of course, you all know, one of our newly appointed principals, Jimmy Browning. So I threw him in right off the bat, first thing.
Only new first-year principal. You can look at me, I'm not new. But I will say, you shared that slide, and we had our PLCs this week, and one comment that I heard from every group is how much they appreciate it being rolled out in this way. Not just all at once, in our laps, here it is, do something with it. We can take it, we can, chew on it all year and then get going. And our teachers, they really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate it. And you're right, it's just how we look at things differently. Instead of, just working in a group, we're learning to be collaborators, and we'll learn that terminology. We've got our staff picture up there, and I'll sort of let you look at it just a little bit and sort of play Where's Waldo. One of our first-year teachers forgot to wear his shirt on our opening day and had it laid out for the next day. But anyway, really before I get into that, I appreciate the district office. Since I've been in this job just for a few weeks, I think I've called everyone here, and I appreciate the response. I really do. I know a few days before school, we had a major water leak with our air conditioning unit, had to shut it down for our open house. We had no air, but they fixed it the day before school, and I appreciate that. Called Eric today, he gets right back to me. Seemed like every time I call Brian, he always calls me during lunch, and I can't talk at that time with the chaos ensuing there. And but I do appreciate the district office. I do. Miss Jones, she calls me all the time, I think, just to make sure I'm still there. I hadn't ran off yet. But this is our staff, very dedicated group of people, just extremely proud of them, and that's one thing that sort of made it easier for me to take the job, is I know the people that I'm working with, and I really do appreciate that. Our theme this year, if you've been to our school, I wish you would come. It's a Mario theme. Miss Jones sort of initiated that before she left last year. She has a jacket she should have worn tonight, Miss Jones, since I've been here. But our classified staff decorated our school, and it just looks beautiful. The kids love it. When they come in, they're smiling, they're excited about it. And you can see in this door right here, one of our second-year teachers sort of put my face right here on Mario, and she put the assistant principal, Mr. Evans, right there. So I thought that's pretty cute. But the students do love it. As we move on, something new for us this year, Allison Ramsey, she's our digital coach, and she asked if she could do a Black Hawk Hub. And I said, you better believe it. And so she created this for us, and it's just a site that everyone has bookmarked. Anything that we need is on this site. You can see our pacing guides. I asked the teachers to do pacing guides this year. It's there. Blackhawks of the Month, Hard Work Cafe, Golden Coin Awards. We're just trying to flood our students with positive reinforcement, opportunities for them to be recognized, and classrooms have opportunities to gain golden coins, because it is Mario, by the way, and we'll select the classroom that gathered the most coins, and they'll get special treat. You can give them popcorn, extra recess, extra gym time. That's like handing them $1 million, so we'll do that. We have our positive office referral form. Once again, just another way to recognize students. On that positive office referral form, we'll talk more about that, but it's going to link character profile of a learner. Excited about that. So our teachers really love the hub, and we've talked about the hub so much, we laugh about it. It's a joke at our school, and I tell Ramsey, I said it's like she gets 25 cents every time we talk about it. Open house was a great success. Once again, we had Mario characters everywhere. We had a lot of booths set up. We talked Title I. We wanted to share with our families what Title I meant to our school. We had a booth set up for our profile of a learner, discussing that with our families, handing out the flyer, starting that connection between the school and the families with this profile. We had opportunities for students to enroll, and of course, for classroom engagement with our families. We had a great turnout. And I was just sharing with Mr. Perkins, our enrollment is over 550. We fed over 400 kids today. And I should give a shout out to Joe Cooper. She was there one day, and our line was backed up, and I said, we need help. We've got to rethink this. We've got to do something. She said, well, 2 other keypads work. I said, absolutely. Friday, they were up and running. So that's the response that I've gotten from the district, and I really appreciate that. We have 4 new homeroom teachers, Miss Lisa Bruce for first grade, Ashley Duval and Jacob, they're first-year teachers. Whitney Noakes, she's taught for 4 or 5 years, and the last Friday, we're going to have a Friday Sonic Drink Day. We've got all of our new staff a Sonic Drink, and we'll draw for staff members to have a Sonic Drink. Once again, a Sonic Drink for a teacher is about like a bag of popcorn for a kid. They really do love that. So we'll do that on Fridays. Talking about positive office referrals, I'd refer to it on the hub. That's one thing we're really focusing on. And I've asked, and I got this idea from KASA, went to this conference, and I really did like it. Asking every teacher to go to the hub and give a positive office referral for at least 1 or 2 kids a week. And once they give that positive office referral, I'll get it, Mr. Effis will get it, and we'll bring them down, we'll give them pencils, some candy, and we'll put a sticker on them. They either saw the assistant principal or the principal for something great, and they love that, and they go on. And then, once they do that, the teachers will take that profile of a learner card, and they'll write on there what they did, and I'm hoping to link character to profile of a learner, because it all goes together. It all goes together. So that's how we're going to take this profile of a learner from the district to our school and push that out to the families and just show them how important that is. Now, at the end of each month, all those names are going to go into a hat. Everyone that got a positive office referral, I'm going to draw a name out of the hat, okay? And then that student, I'm going to present them at one of our Black Hawk assemblies, a $50 bill. I'm going to get a sponsor for it. I hadn't got it yet, but I'm going to give them a $50 bill, and we're just going to try to flood our school with positivity. We just really are, and that's one way that we're going to do it, and it will connect our profile of learner once again to our families. I'm moving on here. My wife tells me I can be long-winded, but I like bragging about our school. Another thing that we're doing this year is MTSS blocks. From 7:45 to 8:15, Monday through Thursday, we're going to have a block of time where we're going to focus on math. It's going to be data-driven. We're going to have small groups in every classroom. We'll use our aides. We'll use our specials teachers, push them into the classroom to make small groups, focus on individual student needs in math. That's something that we all do anyway. We're going to use that for resource time as well for our special ed students. What we want to stop is a revolving door. One of the most frustrating things for a teacher is to be teaching the class. Someone comes and gets kids and they leave. They'll leave, some more come in. It's very frustrating. So we're trying to keep kids in the classroom to get grade level content. Because how can we ever expect them to be on grade level if they're missing grade level content being taught? So this is going to be a focus for that. I know all students or all schools are doing that. We're going to add an enrichment piece to that. Kids in the 90th, maybe 85th percentile in our iReady diagnostic, those are the top of the top kids. We're going to pull those top kids, and we're going to look at enrichment opportunities in art, and in music, and in computer. And we're going to, like in music, they're going to be exposed to musical instruments. And I've already talked to Mr. Casey. He said, man, I can connect math to music. He's going to do that. We're going to let them go to art and do collaborative projects. We're going to let them go to the computer lab and put together presentations so they can practice on those, being a skilled communicator. So we're going to take those top kids and give them those enrichment opportunities. Just a little different twist on what we've done previously. Promise you I'm about to get done. Outdoor classroom, if you've been by our school, you've seen some construction, but I want to focus you up here first. This is a drawing from Miss House. She's a former teacher at Greenville Elementary who was killed in a tragic accident. Miss Orr, you will have loved her. She did project-based learning. With all the changes that you're pushing through, which are great, she wouldn't have had to change.
Oh, yeah.
She was doing this. She had a vision for an outdoor classroom that she had given to Miss Jones, and it's something that she had kept, and something that was always a vision of ours. And so this is the drawing that we had been working on. Miss Jones very instrumental in this. And this is where we are right now. Looks like a big lollipop right now. This coach right out from my door here, and it's going to look very similar to this. And we're excited about it, excited about the opportunities that's going to bring the students of Greenville Elementary, and Kim House will always be remembered at our school in our hearts, and as well as this outdoor classroom. As always, it's great to be a Blackhawk. We say that quite often. That's just a quick rundown of what we're doing at Greenville Elementary. There's so many other things that we have planned, and fall festivals, and we'll get Miss Jones to come out and help us fall festival. She loves that so much. We're looking to get a school song. I'm excited about that. I gave Mr. Casey the old Greenville song or whatever. I'm trying to find the music to it, but we want to get us a school song so when we come together at our assemblies, we can stand up and we can sing together. We may not all agree, but we have something in common that it's great to be a Blackhawk. And I appreciate your time. Any questions? I was always told to ask first.
So one other thing with that, the postcards that he was talking about sending to students, we've created postcards that will be going to staff. So if we go into a classroom and we see an example of an activity that they're having the kids do that's connected to being, an effective communicator, then we're going to leave them a card that says, hey, we love that you're incorporating this into your classroom environment. So we're trying to have that be students all the way to our staff members as well. One other thing that I forgot to do before I turned it over to Mr. Browning, we have, of course, Mr. Browning is one of our new principals, and we also have another one in our room that I want to point out and present. Mr. Lee Jones, do you care to stand up? He is the new principal at Job Corps, and doing a great job already of trying to figure out how we can all work together to do what's best for students in Muhlenberg County. So kudos to him and the work that he's doing, and a new role, because that we've not had a principal in that role in that facility, and so he's learning the role of principal, also kind of learning what that looks like in that environment. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, good deal. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I already messed up before, so.
No, I'll turn it over to Eric.
So tonight, we're going to have an update on the cafeteria and the ballpark that is happening over at the high school. Tonight we have with us from Summit Engineering, Sean Matthews and Keith Wilburn. And then from A&K Construction, we have Josh Burks on the left, to our left, and then Matt Koletch on our right. Did I say it right?
I'm impressed.
All right, well, there we go. So I'm gonna have Sean and Keith kind of start us out, and then turn it over to Josh and Matt.
All right, so we'd like to give my name's Sean Matthews with Summit. We'd like to give an update on kind of where we are on the cafeteria, primarily with the high school. That's the last piece of the puzzle for the first phase, which we would, the addition of the cafeteria and the kitchen. Currently, the tile is what we're working on. The grout that was put in originally was not a solid epoxy grout, so we had to go in over summertime and take out some of the tile and all of the grout. And as such, in the process, the grout that was put in was correct. It's epoxy grout, but there's an epoxy haze on the floor. So in the process of doing all of this, some of the tile was damaged. And going through this and then changing out the grout, there's an epoxy haze. So in the process of putting in the epoxy, there's a slick finish, if you will. So going back and trying to clean that off, it created some dust and debris, and we were trying to do that after hours, and we found out that that's not going to be really acceptable because when the kitchen staff came in, there was a small film of dust and dirt on the table. So what we're going to do is defer that work until fall break. And we're going to have a follow-up meeting here in a week to determine like a few tile that's damaged and the amount of tile. So we're going to get with Eric and Miss Orr and Joe, and we're going to look at that stuff and see kind of the extent of the tile that needs to come out. And then we're also going to do the cleaning of the epoxy haze during that time. And if the amount of tile that's replaced in the cleaning is acceptable, then that will complete the project. However, if the work is not acceptable and if there's more tile that can be done that can be completed during that week, we will look at next summer at completing that tile. So that's where we are on the kitchen cafeteria. There are a few other remaining items. There's a little bit of work to do on the punch list, but those are minor items, but that would complete the work of the high school. Now, the second phase, which is the ball fields, we met Matt prior to this meeting. They've torn down the old backstop. They've dug the footers for the new press box storage building. They've tied the rebar in that. I believe you're planning on pouring the concrete next week, Monday. So that seems to be going along pretty well on schedule, and Matt and Josh will give you an update as to when they anticipate completing that project, but we're looking at before the end of this year. So there's still a little bit of work, I guess, that needs to be done from Matt Freeman with the athletic fields. There's a few grade issues that need to be worked out and some drainage. I think there's some standing water in parts that need to be done. There's also a little bit of rework that needs to be done on the previously built dugout that we were trying to get built for this season so the kids could play their senior season. So with that in mind, I'll let Josh and Matt speak to that, but that's where we are currently. We are on track with the ball fields, and we will get with you guys to schedule that meeting possibly next Wednesday. So that's where we are.
I don't need a microphone. Unfortunately, I'm really loud. So I'm Matt Kletch. I'm site superintendent for A&K. I was brought up here to try to alleviate and take care of all of these issues. We've got a good plan going forward with the kitchen. I feel like, and Eric and I have got wonderful communication going through all of this. I think we've got a solid plan to take care of this during fall break. But I would invite all of you all that have got any questions. We talked about this meeting on Wednesday. Again, I'll be available. I'm sure Josh will be there. So if you guys have any questions on how we're moving forward with that, please bring them to us, and I will address everything that you guys have got there. As far as the ball field, we talked about earlier today. I don't really want to give a hard date because we've got some things that have got to be ordered and we're rolling into some of this weather season. However, I say that if I've got weather holding out for next 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to have a lot of work done. I've got Mason scheduled to be there next week. We have, like I said, I've got inspectors and concrete will be going in and press box Monday morning. And we will be forming up the new backstop. We started digging it today. Now we found out we're going to have a fight with standing water. I've got some pictures on my phone when we started digging over next to the new dugout. There's just a copious amount of groundwater in there. So that's going to be an ongoing issue that we're going to have to address and fight and deal with. So, but we've got a good crew put together, and y'all are going to see some major movement forward on that ballpark, especially in the next few weeks. So if anybody's got any questions, I will be happy to answer them. Awesome, that's what I like. It's a pleasure to meet you guys.
And I just want to add that I do appreciate Josh and Matt and Sean and Keith that they have worked together and we have had a very good open line of communication. So I appreciate them and I appreciate everything they are doing. So
yeah, and I would echo that. I mean, all the staff, Eric, Ken, Contessa, everybody's been great to work with. Joe, especially especially in the kitchen, it's been unfortunate. We've had some issues going with the tile, but everybody's worked together. I know it's been frustrating for Joe and Darlene and all the ladies that have to serve the students, but we will get this done. We won't stop until it's done and done right. And I know they echo the same thing. So when it's done, it will look brand new. So we won't stop until it's right.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now,
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
All right, now we'll move down to the attendance and enrollment report. Mr. Watkins.
So I'm glad I didn't have to follow up Mr. Browning, and those guys stepped in for me. But I do have a Greenville Blackhawk that's in 3rd grade that's loving school so far. So, and then I had a former Blackhawk who's at South Middle. Just to get started, you can kind of see the chart there or the Excel form. Each month goes off of 20 student days. So I will not have first month until actually the end of this month. But I did want to share with you all just some enrollment numbers, and you can kind of see I based it off the 2nd day. So last Wednesday, the 9th, compared to the 11th last year. 2022-23, we started out with 4,223 students, and this year we're just down to, so far, 4,221. And that number continues to change each day. I looked at it, I think, on Wednesday, and it was kind of the same. We had lost a couple students, but we had gained a couple students. Our homeschool numbers are down. Last year, at the end of the year, we had 565 homeschool students. Now we have 528. And, you know, each day that's a battle, but we do have some programs in place with Job Corps and the MOVE program that we're trying to give those students an opportunity besides homeschool. A lot of families do homeschool right, but unfortunately we have some who are out there that are not doing much. And once they go to homeschool, we just lose all accountability for those kids. So trying to continue to find ways to keep students with us. From last week to this week, we've been running at like 98.5% as far as attendance, and I know that's probably what it is each year, but I think that's pretty good. So I hope we can continue to build off that. And before I end, I just want to thank all of the attendance clerks, the front office staff, the principals, teachers, everybody that's involved with attendance, and especially Gina Hankins at the board. Do not know what I would do without all of them. And our schools just do a great job of creating that good culture of attendance. And we have to keep finding ways to make school exciting. And we're doing that from elementary to the high school. So that is all that I have. If you all have any questions, I will try to answer.
Thank you.
Keep up the good job.
I want to, Alex, publicly say thank you to you. I know you've definitely already been working hard. You've done some home visits. You've had some meetings with administrators, and so you have hit the ground running in your new role, and people are noticing. So thank you so very much for the work that you're doing.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move down now to our board action items, and item A is to consider district funding assurances. Mr. Perkins.
Thank you, Chairman Rager and board members. At this time of year, as we do every year, we present to you for consideration the district funding assurances. The district funding assurances are really a redundancy, if you will, for all of the checks that are in place for when we're working with individual funds that we receive, either federally or state or across the district. So what we do is there is a checklist that we go through, and all of the supervisors for each of those individual funds, whether it be preschool to IDA to any of our other groups, they look at that and they make sure that we're in compliance with everything that we're required to do that come under the umbrella of receiving those funds. I then make sure that all of that is in place, that we're in compliance, and then again, like I've said, I share those out with all of the supervisors and Mrs. Orr, who takes a look at all of those, and that brings us to the point now where you have those assurances in your packets. You're familiar with this. We do this every year, and I'm here to show you that they are complete and ready for your consideration for approval. If you have any questions, I would be happy to, again, try to answer those at this point, and if not, then I would like to recommend that you consider for approval the fiscal year 24 funding assurances.
Any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Ms. Wells. Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of considering the district funding assurances, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, and item B is to consider approving the MOU with the Muhlenberg County Job Corps Center. Mr. Watkins.
Chairman Rager and board members, the attached document is the standard memorandum of understanding between the Muhlenberg County School System and the Muhlenberg County Job Corps Center. This is being submitted for your approval. This is done every year, this memorandum with Job Corps. So I would like to recommend that the Muhlenberg County Board consider approval of the MOU between Muhlenberg County Job Corps Center and Muhlenberg County Schools.
A motion by Mr. Johar. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of considering the MOU with Muhlenberg County Job Corps, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you.
And I would add, I know Ms. Orr introduced Mr. Jones. He's doing a good job. I've been out. I would challenge everybody to go out at some time. They have a lot of really good programs and things going on at the Job Corps.
Thank you. Item C, and that's to consider contracts for school psychology services. You're Miss Finley? Okay.
Sure am.
You look a little different.
Yeah. Thank you, Chairman Reagan. This is going to be the approved contracts for school psychology services. There is a resignation of one of the district school psychologists. The job has been posted on the district website. There are no applicants to date. There are what they need to do to cover the testing load at 3 of the schools. They would like to enter into a partnership with some of the certified school psychologists in our area. There are 2 that are qualified, Kelly Bradbury and Wendy Watts. The contracts are attached. They will work in collaboration with the 3 remaining school psychologists and the director of special education, and they're going to divide the workload in a manner as efficiently as possible.
Make a motion to approve. Second. Have 2 seconds. Mr. Johar. All in favor of considering the contracts for school psychology services, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And item D is our addition, which is to approve a purchase of a 2022 Sprinter van for the Muhlenberg County High School.
Thank you again, Chairman Rager. Vehicles in our district are aging, so we're trying to kind of get a replacement schedule going on some of them. This is part of that, in that the high school was using the newer Suburban to transport students to athletic events, and it's really not as cost effective as we'd like it to be. Regulations do not allow for 12 passenger vans. However, we can take seats out and make it a 9 passenger van. So that'd be 8 students plus the driver. This is far more efficient to use than a smaller school bus. Also, you do not have to have a CDL, so the coach can drive them as well, thus saving on mileage for school buses and paying a bus driver. There's also less fuel. One thing I would like to add is that while this is a Mercedes, it is one of the only ones available. Tim scoured the country, and the one that we found is actually in Dallas. So the lead time on a new vehicle, which all of these roll pretty much off the same assembly line, is about 1.5 years, is what we've been told. So we found a used one with 17,000 miles. It's very good condition, and we think this will be a very good purchase and will be used for years to come. So we would like to seek your approval on this van. I would like to add, one last thing is that we did look and try to find some of the other, but this was what they had. This company got 11 of them in, and 9 of them were gone that same day. So as quick as people can get them, they're gone.
Any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Bowers, second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of approving the purchase of the 2022 Sprinter van for the Muhlenberg County High School, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none.
Thank you again.
Thank you. We're down now to our board consent agenda items, and this is approval of the minutes of the prior board meeting, considering leave of absence requests, considering contract for orientation and mobility services, considering field trip requests, and approving fundraisers. You've all had a chance to review these in your packets. Are there any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
A motion by Ms. Wells, second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of approving the board consent agenda items, please say aye. All opposed? I hear none. And move down now to adjournment. I need a motion to adjourn. A motion by Mr. Bowers. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none, and we are adjourned. Thank you.